Another telltale sign of a grifter is a person that has ingrained themselves into a community and portrays themselves as an authority on the topic but clearly has no knowledge of that topic. A famous example is the grifter Eric July, aka Young Rippa 59, a YouTuber that has positioned himself as an authority on comic books. He uses this feigned authority to grift on the hatred of the MCU, and he famously flip-flopped on his like of Miles Morales when he realized he could grift on the racist hatred of a black Spider-Man.
Have a million spider folk, which doesn't even make sense when you consider Peter's origin.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
Talking about Peter Darker.
Fun fact: Eric used to like the character, even saying he's more than just a black Peter Parker, but he changed his tune when he found out he could make more money pandering to racist comic book fans who hate Miles Morales.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Did you used to like him? Not judging or whatever. Just curious.
No.
Do you like Miles Morales then?
No.
Yeah, some characters have been written decently that are of different races and have suited up in the suit of a hero or a version of that hero. One of the more obvious is Miles Morales as Spider-Man. Morales has his own background. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy. But Miles is an exception, make no mistake.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
So this is the video that these guys, or this weirdo, this fat guy, and I'm guessing the other person, which I don't know if that's his sock account or what, I have no idea, but, you know, is trying to present as if I said I like Miles Morales. Now, you guys understand, people that have watched this is a 4-year-old video, but you guys that watch my material, you know my position has been very, very consistent on this issue. I've explained in detail what I mean by tokenism. Don't care how you define it. Don't give a crap. But I've defined it in the way that I am using it, which is really all that matters. And I've defined it precisely. It's not a catch-all term. I specifically reference in tokenization as race, gender, sexuality, swaps, etc. of pre-established characters. I've also stated many times that not all tokenization is created equal. There are different ways to do it, and there are more or less preferable ways to do it because they're not all equal. I've said that, for example, one of the best, to me, the best handled ever in like mainstream comics, tokenized character to me has been She-Hulk. I mean, had been, let's say that. And I've expressed why exactly that's the case. They're not all equal, okay? Now, this video, as you see in the title, Changing Race, Gender, or Sexuality of Established Comic Book Characters, and I talk about this. Now, let's listen to what I said at the beginning of the video.
Let's talk about something that isn't really new, but I think it requires a video because I want folks to understand where I'm coming from with this. Changing the race, ethnicity, and so forth of a pre-established character is some of the wackest shit ever, but let me explain.
Okay, so I've made my position very clear. It's some of the wackest stuff ever. I'm actually going to double down on that after I make this point about Miles Morales. So the act in itself, I consider less preferable. I do not like it. I am not fond of it, but I can look at things objectively, and I can look at things and see, considering the pool, what's more or less preferable than, let's say, for comparison's sake, something else. Okay. So you have characters that are derivatives. You have characters that are knockoffs, all of that. And I can look at them in terms of what's better and what's worse and what's far more or less preferable, even though when it comes to tokenism, the actual like act per se, I consider whack. Now we're going to move to where this idiot got this video from and what they quoted. Now you can watch that whole entire video if you want, and actually we can, go to some of the like what the actual context is.
So that I know that there's a lot more to me as an individual than simply being a black person.
Let me see where I talk about
and change their background because they know you are so easily swayed. And
I talk about more of the psychology behind this. I reference in this actual video, by the way, like Jimmy Olsen, which was a big part of like seeing that stuff happen more often, which is the context of what this video is that, this is where we really started to see this characters appearing in like live action settings and they were not themselves. They don't look anything like Jimmy Olsen and stuff. So at this mark, I think it's here. Is it
has
here?
to deal with some conflict regarding her sexual. This is in times. Some of these characters
All right.
fill a
So listen to this. Now this is the part that didn't get clipped in that clip. Listen to this.
role that is centered around a suit. As an example, you have different characters that have been Batman, and different characters have worn these suits of Batman. But we all know the Batman is white as hell, and that's Bruce Wayne. That's the iconic Batman. So if you up and depicted a black Batman, you're going to get some backlash. And yeah, some characters have been written decently that are of different races and have suited up in the suit of a hero.
All right, so again, that is the context. I mentioned another character, not Spider-Man, and like Batman and other people having, let's say, filled his suit. Still less preferable, right? And whatnot. And what I'm going to mention here is Miles Morales, and I'm talking about, well, at minimum, it's at least decent that they didn't just take Peter Parker, the character, and let's say put him in a new universe and then just race swap him, saying that he's now Peter Parker and he's, let's say, biracial like Miles Morales did. Instead, they created another Spider-Man. It's a knockoff. It's still tokenism. And they named him Miles Morales, right? He's still Peter Darker. At no point do I say, and we're going to listen, no point do I say that I actually like the character. I'm speaking more to the fact that, well, that's far more preferable than them just taking Peter Parker and then swapping him, despite, you can make the argument that's what he is, as like they have a very similar like origin and all of that, but he's at least, his name's Miles Morales and not Peter Parker. So listen in on this.
Or a version of that hero. One of the more obvious is Miles Morales as Spider-Man. Now, most of these types of efforts are forced, corny, and lazy, but at least Miles Morales has his own background. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
Which is, again, it's the same point that I've made a million times, which is what was weird about that fat dude grabbing this like he discovered something. Like, dude, I've made this point a million times and I still make it to this day. That's more preferable, but which also doesn't make the clip that this guy clipped. You're going to hear me say, regardless, it's still not a preferable thing. Listen.
Miles is an exception, make no mistake, and it will always be preferable to have another character with his own unique skill set, unique art, stop being lazy, and taking developed characters and making them of different descent for the sake of representation and diversity. I don't care in what timeline you make it, it'll forever be whack. And it's stupid because there's so many examples.
Like, I couldn't be any clearer than that point, and like, it's still always whack. But at least with Miles, he's not, even though I call him Peter Parker, I'm speaking more to where they copied and pasted. Yeah, but it would have been worse if they just said, hey, here's this new universe. Peter Parker's now black and Puerto Rican. That would have been a different animal, and it would have been worse. So though it's not preferable, here's what you get. It's not a new point that I've made.
That's a lie.
You are a liar. No, I'm not. He's lying. You lie. Liar.
Lies. Oh, lies!
Eric likes to criticize comic book media as being inaccurate to the source material, a topic we would actually agree on. The difference between he and I, however, is that Eric is very clearly a poser. A couple years ago, Eric had a debate with Bob from Organized Chaos.
You're such a big person. Why are you so triggered by this person calling you a clown?
I don't think that I reject the premise first and foremost, in that this isn't being triggered. So I reject the premise.
You're rejecting facts.
No, it's not a fact.
You're rejecting facts.
Why, all right. So why
can I say that's untrue?
Why? Well, what you said, because you call using the term triggered. I reject that usage. I reject the usage that just because I responded to something means I triggered.
That word.
Did you not just say triggered? Chat. Everybody correct us if he just said triggered. Correct. I want to make sure that I'm not tripping. Did he not just say that I was triggered? Did he not just say that? Right. All right, check.
I mean, you could say I implied it, if nothing else. I don't recall saying that.
All right, you just said it. So, man, it's hard to believe that you're acting in good faith.
I was watching porn, and all of a sudden it hit me. That's somebody's daughter. This is supposed to be gay porn.
You're such a big person. Why are you so triggered by this person calling you a clown?
I wouldn't.
The end of the East!
Miss Simpson, do you find something funny about the word tromboner?
No, sir.
Nobody likes Millhouse. Lisa, you've got detention.
When you just said it, and now you're trying, you just lied, right? You just lied and said that you didn't say it.
Wow.
Wow. It's like right now.
In that debate, Bob asked a relatively simple question that an actual comic book fan should have been able to answer.
Why? Like, you've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Go back to ISOM. What about it are you asking? What specific
Wait. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Well, because Eric is a grifter and doesn't actually know what he's talking about, he proceeded to stall until someone in his chat provided the answer to Bob's question, and then, wouldn't you know it, Eric is suddenly answering the question as if he knew it all along.
What specific action are you asking pertaining
No,
to ISOM?
no. I'm going to get stuck on this one. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Let's talk about ISOM. You just asked me a question. Let's quit moving the goalposts. What specifically about the ISOM book is pertaining to like an action that you're asking about his motivations?
Dude, have you read Amazing Fantasy number 15?
All right, this isn't a gotcha. Can you please answer the question pertaining to ISOM?
It kind of fucking is. You're talking about being a comic book fan.
Can you please answer the question?
Holy shit, do you know what Amazing Fantasy 15 is?
There are plenty of people that don't
Do you know what Amazing Fantasy 15 is?
There are plenty of people that don't know who Spider-Man is, dipshit.
That's the point. Grifters often do not know what they're talking about, and they rely on you not knowing they don't know.
Very interesting. Go on, I'm listening.
Tell me a bit about Isom's motivations.
As far as what? Have you read the book?
Yes.
Motivations to do what?
That's a good question. I don't know. Tell me what was his drive? Why does he do what he does?
As far as what?
Dude, character motivations.
All right, you're using a very catch-all term. I'm asking you for a specific thing. Like, what do you mean?
You should be able to give me some basic character motivations. You've only written one issue, so give me some character motivations for why he does what he does.
As far as what? As far as what action in the book?
Oh my God! Just how? Like he doesn't even do that much in the book. Give me some basic character motivations. Like why does he?
No, I'm not. No, have you read? Let me ask you this. Have you read the book?
Yes.
All right, so you read the book. So what specific action are you talking about in terms of you're asking why he's motivated to do it? What action did he do that you're asking why he was motivated to do?
Well, I'm asking about character motivations. Why does he do anything he does in that book at all?
Everybody does. Everybody. That's basic human action. Nobody's a robot. Everybody does certain things depending on how they process information.
Yes, yeah. Characters have drive. They have ideas. Why is he doing what he's doing?
As far as what? Give me a specific
anything. Action. Give me, pick your own example and give it to me.
I'm not giving you anything.
Give me an example.
I'll tell you what.
I'll give you an example. Why, you've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Go back to ISOM. What about it are you asking? What specific?
Wait. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
What specific action are you asking pertaining to ISOM?
No. I'm going to get stuck on this one. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Let's talk about ISOM. You just asked me a question. Let's quit moving the goalposts. What specifically about?
A few minutes later.
Good job, Google.
I'm not doing Googling. You're Googling. My hands are free. The chat is watching me. I have not Googled anything.
How many people have on your staff?
Why are you giggling like a schoolgirl? Why are you giggling like a schoolgirl?
Because I think this is hilarious.
Why is it hilarious? What's hilarious?
Dude, okay, so prove me wrong. Here's your chance to prove me wrong.
No. What? No, stop. See, you have this weird thing where you think you can make claims and you can giggle, which shows that you're not acting in good faith. You can make claims, you can be passive aggressive, and then we're supposed to just skirt beyond it. What exactly was I coping about?
You're coping about the fact that you had no idea what Amazing Fantasy 15 was. You had no idea.
How did I not know when I just explained it to you?
Oh, you had no idea. You had to look it up, man. It was pretty sad.
How did I have to look it up? All right. How did I have to look it up? How did I have to look it up when my hands are free right now?
All right. Well, how many people do you have on staff?
My staff is not with me. I'm at home.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, nobody sent it to you?
No, I'm at home.
Mm-hmm. I really want to know.
There's no. You understand that you just made shit up. And also, again, we've talked about Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy, number 15, multiple times on my channel. Okay? We talked about that because I've had to set the context for it, right? So I've talked about it, for example, in tokenization videos, and I've talked about it in Miles Morales' video. So the evidence exists that I've not only read it, I've gone through the damn panels in videos that exist prior to today, okay? That's not an opinion. That is a fact. So you got it wrong. You assumed that I didn't know. You thought you had a gotcha. And you're giggling because that was all you had to cling to. You got it wrong, and this is why you shouldn't show your ass, in other words.
So let's recap. Prowler, an original Spider-Man villain who was introduced in issue 78 of The Amazing Spider-Man, sneaks into Norman Osborn's spot, and he's one of the OG Spider-Man villains. As Green Goblin, he carries a spider, the result of an experiment that bites a character who ends up becoming a Spider-Man. That's Miles' origin story. We'll get into his powers a little more later, but it's important to note that his origin is essentially the same. Hilariously enough, Peter Parker of the first Ultimate comic reboot states that he was bit by a one-of-a-kind spider, which apparently isn't true.
The brother of Ditko and the current administrator of the late artist's estate is seeking to revoke Marvel's copyright over both the Amazing Fantasy Volume 1, which is, of course, Spider-Man's first depiction, and his first appearance.
Why does Isom, since you read the book, why does he say that he is going to go to the city to go talk to Fontano? Why does he say that?
Why are you asking me about the plot points of your book?
I'm asking you. You said you read it, so I want you to read it back to me.
Why?
Because I want to. You asked me a question pertaining to his motivations. I'm asking you about a question regarding the book that you claim to have read.
Yeah, no, I read it a couple months ago.
So what?
Dude,
all right, so
Eric,
you read a couple months. What did Isom say?
You wrote it.
No. Please. All right, I just asked. Can you please answer the question? You got to be acting in good faith. You've been asking me all these questions. I've answered them.
I'm sorry, Eric. It's been a couple months. I didn't bone up on my Isom trivia.
Okay, so you don't know. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't bone up on my Isom trivia before this.
So you're asking about motivations, and you don't know about the book that you claim to have read.
Dude,
that's called acting in bad faith. You do understand?
Oh my God, that's. I like that. Let's move the goalpost a bit more. You should be able to give me. You should be able to give me some basic character motivations. You've only written one issue, so give me some character motivations for why he does what he does.
As far as what? As far as what action in the book?
Oh my God! Just how? Like he doesn't even do that much in the book. Give me some basic character motivations. Like why does he?
No, I'm not. No, have you read? Let me ask you this: have you read the book?
Yes.
All right, so you read the book. So what specific action are you talking about in terms of you're asking why he's motivated to do it? What action did he do that you're asking why he was motivated to do? Okay, so you don't know. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't bone up on my Isom trivia before this.
So you're asking about motivations and you don't know about the book that you claim to have read.
Dude,
that's called acting in bad faith. You do understand.
Oh my God, that's. I like that. Let's move the goalpost a bit more. What does I'm asking about character motivations. Why does he do anything he does in that book at all?
Everybody does. Everybody. That's basic human action. Nobody's a robot. Everybody does certain things depending on how they process.
Yes, yeah. Characters have drive. They have ideas. Why is he doing what he's doing?
As far as what? Give me a specific
anything. Action. Give me pick your own example and give it to me.
I'm not giving you anything.
Give me an example.
I'll tell you what.
I'll give you an example. Why? You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
You sit on a throne of lies.
That's a lie.
Liar.
He's a liar. The demon is a liar.
A liar?
That lying bitch!
Liar!
Eric July pretends to be an expert on comic books, but doesn't know what a legacy character is.
What is a
comic book tradition?
New legacy character? What do you mean new legacy character? Are
You
you talking
understand-
about knockoff versions? Is that what you're referring to?
Okay, so you understand what a legacy character is, right?
Yes, I'm asking you for clarification. Can you answer what the question I just had?
Well, I'm trying to understand how you are asking what a legacy character is. A legacy character is simply
I
a
am
character.
saying, what do you mean by new legacy character? If they're a legacy character, they wouldn't be new.
What? No, legacy characters are characters that carry on the legacy. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand that, but if it's a legacy character, the character itself has been there and it's ingrained in comic books, as you just said. So what do you mean new?
So unlike the other clips that can be explained with short segments of the debate, I'm going to need more time to show that Bob is a complete idiot when it comes to debating. It's like trying to herd cats. I actually feel sorry for Eric for having to explain and clarify a question multiple times in the span of minutes. And Bob is so comically moronic you'll think I'm reusing clips. But I'm not, he's just that dim. And he's that way through the whole debate, which is hilarious for two reasons. One, because Birdman is the guy who says he's unbiased and just follows facts and logic. Yet his bit on Bob's show uses his thumbnails in his videos and uses this debate as evidence, which means he sides with him, which is hilarious considering what an absolute duplicitous piece of shit Bob is. Like I said, this is a long clip of the debate, a little over 14 minutes, but it's to unequivocally show that Bob and Birdman are absolute buffoons.
Well, I haven't seen your Miles Morales one, so educate me. What is the problem with Miles Morales?
Tokenization, that's it. That's simple.
But people
I think
love him.
tokenization is lazy. That's fine. People
Well,
love him.
how's it tokenization though? It's like he's his own character.
No, he's not. He's Spider-Man.
All right. So what?
Yeah, he's not the first Spider-Man.
So what?
That's tokenization.
Do you have an issue with Barry Allen?
Barry Allen is not tokenization. He's not original, but he's not tokenization.
How's he not
Because he's
tokenization?
white.
But so wait, the race matters?
Yes, that's what tokenization is.
Oh,
I've defined it. I have a video, a dedicated video.
Okay, so
it's dedicated. Hold on, I'll explain. I guess you haven't seen any of my material, so I have a long form video explaining exactly what I mean when I say tokenization, and we're talking about race, sexuality, and gender swaps pertaining to these characters.
Okay.
So that's what we're referring to when we talk about when I say like a tokenized version of another character. Barry Allen is white. Wally West, except the new 52 version is white. So both of those characters may be unoriginal. I'm not going to argue anybody that says Jay Garrick is the original Flash. I will not argue against that. However, I wouldn't call them the other characters tokenizations. So this is why I say all tokenizations are unoriginal, but not all unoriginal characters are tokenized. Very simple.
Right. So out of curiosity, Miguel O'Hara.
What about him?
What would you define him as?
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
So you would define everyone who's not Jay Garrick as an unoriginal Flash? I would
define. I have no problem with people saying that Wally is not an original Flash. It's fine with me.
No, what about Barry Allen?
Perfectly
you have no
fine.
problem with people not calling him original Flash?
Same exact thing.
Okay,
same
so
exact thing.
Why?
I have no problem with people saying that they're not if someone was like, hey, they're not original.
Okay.
They're knockoffs of.
I mean, that's true. Say, okay, cool. But so like, would you consider Barry Allen and Miles Morales both equally bad then?
Not necessarily. No, I would consider both of them unoriginal characters. And generally speaking, unoriginal characters are bad.
So tell me. Unoriginal characters are bad flat out?
Let me explain. Let me explain.
Okay.
No, let me explain. Not all tokenizations are equal, right? I've said that, for example, She-Hulk is a better handled tokenized character than, let's say, other tokenized characters.
Okay.
They're not all equal.
So, do you like Miles Morales then?
No, not actually a fan.
How many comic books have you read?
I've read a lot of it, actually. Quite a few. I read the entire original. It wasn't original. It's his volume of the Ultimate Comic Spider-Man. I read all that stuff.
All right. I'm trying to figure out. So your entire problem is that he's just tokenized, correct?
You're saying problem as if I don't know. You're kind of using that term loosely. That's not a book, let's say, or a character that let's say I'm fond of.
Okay.
It's not.
Well, lots of people are. Why did you feel the need to make a video?
That's fine. That's their business. They're free. They're free to do that. They're free to do that.
So why do you feel the need to make a video attacking him? What makes
I don't understand.
I'm trying to figure out what makes Miles Morales so. Well, I'm trying to figure out what makes Miles Morales so objectively like worse in your eyes than someone like Barry Allen.
Well, I've already explained what my position is on Miles Morales in several videos. He's created to be a knockoff box check type of character. That's specifically why he was created.
So I'm just trying to figure out what makes Miles Morales so specific for you to home in on, but not someone like Barry Allen.
It's not like more like it's like, say like important for me to hone in on. It's just that he definitely, after the Spider-Verse movie, was a topic of conversation. So I talked about him. I've been asked about him a lot. He was a topic of conversation. So I talked about him.
Barry Allen has been the main Flash depicted in movies forever. Why is he not a topic of conversation? There's way more movies with Barry Allen Flash than Miles Morales Spider-Man.
What's the issue though? Like, am I supposed to do videos on every single character ever? Like,
well, you seem to just not really like unoriginal characters. So what makes Miles Morales so particular for your hate and not Barry Allen?
First of all, that's not exactly true. The thing about Miles Morales is that he was specifically created to check a box.
Okay.
Like that was his.
But
he was
for the most part, the general consensus is that like he's really evolved and become his own character.
Consensus is. I'm telling you what my position is because that's what you asked.
That's the thing. Like you're talking about, like he's here to check a box, and I'm not even 100% sure what you mean. What do you mean check a box?
I mean that he was specifically created to be a black or half black Spider-Man.
Okay,
that
so your issue with Miles Morales over Barry Allen is that he's black.
It's not. This isn't a Miles. My position on Miles Morales has nothing to do with Barry Allen. That's something you injected.
Well, you're the one that brought up that your issue with Miles was that he's unoriginal, and I just brought up that Barry Allen's unoriginal.
No. That wasn't just my. No, that's dumbing the whole thing of what I said down.
You mean bring up comic book history is dumbing it down? That's legit comic book history.
No, I'm saying that's not my position. Where am I losing you there?
Well, what are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on Johnny Storm?
What about him? What, him not being the first human? Is that the point that you're trying to make?
Yeah, he's unoriginal too.
All right, there are plenty of unoriginal characters. I don't know what point that you're trying to make.
Well, I mean, you've pretty much already said your whole issue with Miles is that he's black, despite the fact that overwhelmingly people like him. So why don't you just not read his books if you don't like him?
He was a lazy creation, and that's why I'm not necessarily fond of him. There's a lot of creative talent in comic books, and I do feel that people should be able to, as opposed to tokenization, in this day and age, with social media, with all this connectivity it is that we have, people are able to connect with a lot of creative people. The fact that, whether it be with that character or plenty of others that's been created in the last whatever, the fact that they resort to trying to copy characters that already exist.
Well, that's kind of the state of media we live in. That's just kind of the state of the media we live in.
Well, that's fine. I disagree that should be a norm. If that's your position, that's fine. I don't like that as an artist.
Okay. Can you name me just name me the most popular comic book character from the last 20 years?
I have no idea.
The most popular one created in the last 20 years.
I have no idea.
I mean, come, you know the answer.
No, I don't. Like, how about you tell me? Tell me.
The most popular comic book character created in the last 20 years?
You tell me, and I don't know why you're asking me that, but you tell me.
I mean, it's obviously Miles Morales.
You think that all right, that's fine. You can think that Miles Morales is the most popular character created in the last 20 years.
Name a more popular one.
I don't.
Isom doesn't count. Isom doesn't.
I don't care to.
You don't care to. More like you just don't want to admit that he's popular.
No.
You've essentially already admitted your whole issue with him is that he's black.
No, that's not what it is that I said. And please do not say dumb shit like that. And that's the last time I'm going to tell you. I'm right here speaking to you, and don't put words in my mouth, especially considering who
It's what you said, man.
That I create. No, that's not what I said. That's what you wanted me to say. So that's the last time I'm going to tell you. At least be respectful enough to not put words in my mouth. I'm not doing that to you. So be respectful enough to not put words in my mouth. I have never claimed that. So please don't claim.
If your issue with Miles isn't that he's black, then what's your issue?
My issue, I've already explained, is that in this day and age, with all of this creativity it is that we have in comic books, in media, whatever it is that you want to call, they opted, as they have with, he's not the only tokenized character that exists. They've opted to make a rehash of a character that we have been seeing for decades, right? Longer than I have been alive, not longer than my mother, but damn near. We've already seen it, and they opted to rehash that. I think from a creative standpoint, considering that there's all these ideas that are floating out there, the last thing in this day and age that artists, people that actually care about any level of creativity, should be doing is rehashing characters that we already have seen. That is my issue with it. It's been that way. He was specifically created to check a box. And what I mean by that,
what box is he checking?
It's not about, okay, they created him to that he's a black character. That's not the issue. Obviously, there are other black characters. I created one, by the way, created multiple ones, by the way, that can catch on with the audience. So the issue isn't that. The issue is that they are giving, it's more sloppy seconds kind of approach.
Okay.
That's my issue.
Well, it's sloppy seconds. I'm still trying. So your issue with Miles isn't that he's black, but that he's tokenized. What makes him tokenized?
I've already explained that he's not the first Spider-Man, and he was specifically created to be basically a half black Spider-Man. So a knockoff of a character that we have seen for several decades.
Okay, so just like Barry Allen, just like John Stewart, just like Johnny Storm. There's so many characters this. Legacy characters are built in the comic books. So why are you taking particular interest at the more recent ones that just happen to be a bit more diverse?
No, like I've said, all tokenizations are not equal. Now, I will say in this day and age, I've explained this multiple times as well. Let's say what people have to spend, be it on marketing, be it on getting these books out there or whatever it is. The money that they spend, they don't have to spend anymore. Social media has completely changed the game. So we have a level of connectivity that we previously did not have. So in order to get a new character out there, it's a lot easier than what it was before. Okay. So because of that, it is especially egregious, whatever term you want to use, to try to make knockoff versions of characters that already exist when you can, if these people are as creative as I'd like to think that they are, just create a completely new original character and have them stick. So a lot of my issues with that is more from and from the perspective of a creator. And I've made that abundantly clear.
But you are aware, I was just naming off a whole bunch of lists of legacy characters. Legacy characters are like ingrained in comic book history. Like there's so many legacy characters.
What exactly is the point? What exactly?
My issue is why do you care about the new legacy characters? What's so uniquely bad about the new legacy characters?
What do you mean? I just explained to you what my position was. What about
you're saying you want original characters and cool, and you made one. Cool. What's the problem with the new legacy characters though? Because legacy characters are a comic book tradition.
What do you mean by new legacy character? What do you mean new legacy character? Are you talking about knockoff versions? Is that what you're referring to?
Okay, so you understand what a legacy character is, right?
Yes, I'm asking you for clarification. Can you answer what the question I just had?
Well, I'm trying to understand how you are asking what a legacy character is. A legacy character is simply a character...
saying, what do you mean by new legacy character? If they're a legacy character, they wouldn't be new.
No, legacy characters are characters that carry on the legacy. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand that, but if it's a legacy character, the character itself has been there and it's ingrained in comic books, as you just said. So what do you mean new?
Because there are new characters created to add on to the legacy. Please don't tell me you're this dumb.
So no, it's not about, I'm asking you, because I know the term legacy and what it means. I am asking you for clarification. You're using two diametrically opposed concepts. So when you say new legacy, you're essentially
yes, they are a new addition to the legacy.
It's not. It wouldn't be a legacy.
You are going. You are
in that sense, unless they have been ingrained, and maybe some of these
Eric,
characters.
You are being so obtuse right now.
No. That's not the case. I am simply explaining to you how those concepts are diametrically opposed.
How they're
Listen, dude. What problems do you have with my position on the characters that are being created? What is the issue?
I'm just trying to figure out why legacy characters have existed throughout pretty much all of comic book history, and now all of a sudden these new ones that happen to be a bit more diverse, these ones you don't like.
My position on characters in comic books, knockoffs, and them being unpreferable, not preferable. I've been consistent on that. I have not deviated from that. That has been my position, be it the characters, no matter when they create. They're always going to be the original ones. I will always prefer them. I prefer better ideas. I prefer new ideas as opposed to just creating knockoff versions of the character.
Okay, but I mean, you're a comic book fan, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're a comic book fan, you know that the legacy characters are built into the very foundation of comic books. So I'm just trying to understand how you can not like new characters added to the legacy, but still consider yourself a comic book fan?
Yes. I just explained to you why, especially in this day and age, why I prefer new characters being created as opposed to knockoff versions of old ones. What about that did you get confused on?
Okay, you like all the issues you have towards characters like Miles Morales are also issues you have with characters like Barry Allen, like Johnny Storm, John Stewart. You have all the same issues. Not necessarily. So what is the big difference?
So you can think Eric is dumb for asking for a clarification all you want, but imagine having to debate this imbecile for 3 hours that has the intelligence and the memory of an ostrich, who will ask a question, Eric will answer it, then seconds later will ask the same question. Eric will answer it again, and the cycle will repeat the whole debate, but then he'll turn around and call you dumb and obtuse for asking for a single clarification. He's the absolute encapsulation of the Mark Twain quote, never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. And imagine being Birdman, who calls Eric neurotic and critical drinker, grifters, idiots, and liars, but will back organized chaos, and use his evidence, and completely ignore what an absolute buffoon Bob and his ilk are. Now I wanted this video to be focused on the Eric July part, because it shows without a doubt Birdman is a biased little bitch, who does the exact thing he accuses others of doing, which makes him such a hilarious character. He is projection in YouTuber form, and then there's the rest of his video.
Or B, you can lean into the like of the general audience and pretend it wasn't woke, and that's why it did well.
I mean, Peach is just like, there's literally, Peach has done nothing but be stoic and smart and powerful and commanding, and Mario is bumbling, stumbling idiot. Look, like right there, she just has this confidence. You know, she's just standing there with all this confidence.
What's going on, everybody? I just watched the Super Mario movie, and this is just gonna be a quick review of my thoughts on the film. I loved it. Peach is not a girl boss, although under the current Hollywood template, I understand why some people are very sensitive to some of the lines in the movie or the approach, but Mario is very much a hero in the movie. Princess Peach she is kind of like badass and everything, but we've seen her be badass before.
Seems like you should stop making that type of content before a movie comes out, right, Jeremy? It's always a fucking Jeremy, isn't it?
But I had no idea that someone clipped out my video and only clipped out one part of it, the worst part of it, so they could make me sound bad. And then they specifically stopped it right before I said, hey, I hope I'm 100% wrong about this. But I love the parts that don't get clipped. So right here in the trailer, listen to what I said. This didn't get clipped. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm 100% wrong. Now, I said that, and then I closed the trailer out. I can't remember the timestamp on this. Where did I close the trailer out saying? Oh, if you're excited for it, please continue to be excited. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're excited for it, please continue to be excited for it. Be blown away by it. Just giving my opinion, and I have to be honest with my opinion. I wanted nothing more than to go into this trailer and just look at this and go, yes, this is going to be the best thing ever. There's no concerns whatsoever. That's just not the case. Hopefully I'm wrong. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Oh, what a terrible person I am. How dare me say, I hope you loved it, and if my concerns have any impact on you, please don't let that be the case. I want you to be excited. I just have my concerns. What a terrible thing. I wonder why they didn't clip that. I wonder why they didn't include any of that in the video, because on Twitter, you can upload to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So it's really interesting how they stopped that at 1:38. It's almost like they're trying to create a narrative. Because if you actually put in the video that I say, I hope I'm wrong, if you actually put in the video that I say, don't let my criticisms have any impact on you, and if you're excited, please continue to be excited, it's almost like if you leave that in, that completely blows up your narrative about me.
She's a goddamn liar!
That was a lie, pal.
He's a liar. You fucking liar.
He's lying.
I knew you were lying.
You're just a liar.
You lying snake!
You must be quite a liar.
It's a gift.